Hi, welcome to Midweek Masterpiece. This week we're going to paint the field of poppies. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with, and I will post these below, white. That's like a dark olive green. And we've got, gosh, let's see. These are all Master Touch. Ocean green and orange. We've got the yellow light. We've got navy blue and white. Oh, did I say white already? Okay, well, we use a lot of white. So we're going to start with an abstract background, and I'm just going to, you can make this anything you want. Just remember that the flowers are orange, yellow, maroon colors. So I'm just going to start maybe just a little navy in the side. That's a little too dark, so I'm just going to add a little white. This is just my own personal flavor. So you can make it any color, anything you want. I do not want it to be perfect. I want it to be very not perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab some light blue and put it over here. And I am painting the outside edge. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned, and I apologize. I started with a just a blank 8x10 canvas, and I wanted a little bit of a tone in the background. So I used a little bit of white and raw sienna and made it, it's like a light brown color, and that's up to you. I just kind of wanted a little bit of a different color back there. And let's take a little yellow, and we'll make that into some green at the top here, like that, and go down the sides. I am just putting this wherever I feel like putting it. I am gonna make it probably bright through here, like a light source. So let's use, let's start at the bottom. We'll do some olive green. And we'll just bring all these up to match. So kind of get some olive green in the bottom here. And you can tell this is just all random. The background is completely abstract. We will cover a lot of it with the poppies. And so what's showing through will actually be pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some yellow, and let's just put some yellow through here. And I'm going to keep it away from the blue for a minute because I want the middle to be more yellow, because I'm going to go over that with white. And then I'll just kind of mix it in with the green on the side and the blue. And I am just touching the camera and just letting that brush do whatever it wants to do. And kind of blending, not blending. A little bit of everything. But so you can see the little tone behind there, the raw sienna. And let's see, maybe a little more yellow through here. Just because I think it looks nice. A little lighten up that green. So now we've got a different color green on top, which is great. And let's use some, let's use a little bit of the green and navy. And we'll just blend that in over here. Okay. So as you can, there is no rhyme or reason to any of these colors. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of navy blue. Let's just put a little navy blue here, just because I just kind of want it in different areas. And maybe some light blue up through here where this blue kind of was at. And I really like the orange in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of orange, and let's just make some orange. And I'm going to kind of blend it into that green a little bit so it's kind of faded in the background. Kind of looks like flowers in the background a little bit. And I picked up some blue. And I kind of like that. And if we need to, I think it might be a little too big. So I'm going to take some of that olive green, and let's just go over that orange, and we'll just fade it out a little bit. A little too bright. And maybe a little more of the green. And what we can do is we can let this dry and come back and touch it up again if we want to. So I'm just touching that everywhere. Shh, sorry, it's my dog. Griff. He's a 7-pound terrorist. Okay, so I want to brighten this up a little bit in the middle a little bit more. So I'm just going to take some white, and we're going to go through here. Let's brighten this up. We'll mix it with that yellow. And see how bright that just really pops, even through the green and that light blue. And I just kind of blend it in here. I'm just touching it. If you want it to look like streaks, you can make streaks. If you want to blend it in, you can blend it in. It's whatever you would like to have it. So as I'm going down, you can see I'm picking up the other colors. And that's fine too, because like I said, the poppies are going to pretty much cover it. So I'm going to get some more white. Let's just put a lot of white on here. Get this lightened up just because. We'll go around the blue into the orange. And that kind of lighten up the bottom a little bit too. So, some orange down here. Shh, Griff. A little more white here. And a little more yellow. And what I might do is let this dry a little bit. It's kind of turned gray. See how they did that on me? But it kind of looks good. So we're going to put some other stuff up here. Just some little marks. You can make your marks forever, whatever color. I mean, that is just about as abstract as it gets. So I just kind of, wanted some kind of a cool background. And you can mess with this all day long and put different colors in it, smooth colors out, however you want to do it. And so what we really want to do, though, is we definitely need to let it, I'm going to make that dark blue. We need to definitely let it really dry before we put the flowers on top. So you can use a hair dryer, and as long as it's on cool dry or the cold air, and if it's warm air, just make sure that you are pretty far away from the canvas, like maybe 6 inches or so, 8 inches, and keep that dryer moving. Otherwise you can definitely damage the paint. And I think I want more light blue up here. See, I can touch this and play with this all day long. This is just fun to me, and I see different things, and I'm kind of looking at it sideways, so it probably looks a little different for me. Okay, so we're going to leave this like so, and I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to come back, and I can't decide. We might need to make that middle a little lighter just because I want this to really pop out. We're going to see. So let's let this dry, and we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll give it a shot. Well, through the magic of video, of course, things always go faster. So if yours is not dry, please wait until yours is dry. I'm going to go ahead, and mine is still wet, but I'm going to add a little white up in here, I think, while it's still a little damp. And into the yellow. Not too white. I don't want it stark white. So we're going to grab some of the yellow and the blue, kind of mix it up in here, make it green. Yeah, that's good. And down here, I'm going to make that a little more green. So I'm going to grab my olive green because it's kind of representing grass, not necessarily sun or light. So let's just grab the olive green. We'll just throw that in here. And maybe a little blue, just because I like the blue. And, okay, get rid of the brown. All right, so I think I kind of like this better. Shh, sorry, my dog again. Yeah, I don't want it perfect. Let's see. Let's take a little white and we're going to put it here. So you can work this to death, I'm telling you. And lighten that up just a little into the green, because this will be, we can hide everything. And I think that's probably a little better. Maybe not such little marks. Okay. Yeah, and I kind of like that. And then we'll put some flowers up in here and kind of get rid of this part. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it kind of how you like it. And I'm liking that right now. A little, I think. It's kind of hard from the side to see. Let's just blend this in a little bit more here. I know, I just mess with it until I really like it. Maybe make this a little darker. Yeah, bigger strokes. I like that. Okay, so now we have it, and I'm going to leave it alone. And then we're going to let it dry and hop back to it. Okay, I think I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, I'll be back when it's dry. Well, mine is not all the way dry, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use like this little, it's a little detail brush. And I got on Amazon, gosh, let's see. They're fine detail paint brushes. They're like come in a pack of 10 and they're different sizes, and I really like them for this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a little bit of the olive green, and let's say there was a flower growing here and maybe here, and get a little more olive green. Doesn't hold much paint, which is good. And we're gonna just put one here and maybe here and here. And let's do like 3 of them. So let's put one up here and one here, and maybe one's going off there. Got a little leaf there, and let's maybe put one, we'll decide. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so with the same brush, I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I think, some orange. And now these are gonna be poppies. And so I'm just gonna make a little piece of the flower and maybe another piece of flower over here. I'm just kind of drawing it out. And maybe it's gonna come down like this, and over here, and over here. So that just kind of gives us the outline. Okay, so it's nothing smooth, it's kind of rough. Now I'm gonna take the orange and let's go ahead and paint one in, kind of orange here, and maybe a little orange here. And I'm just kind of painting in the petals of the poppy, and not all of them, just a little. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab, oops, I forgot. We've got, this is crimson, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a little crimson, and we're also gonna use some pink. Let's get a little crimson out. And I'm gonna use light magenta, which is also the Master's Touch. I mean, you can use any pink, maroon, blues, whatever you'd like to make it. It's all your colors, whatever you want. Let's go ahead and grab a little maroon. I'm gonna put that like here, like that's a little, put this one on top of the other one here. And I am just touching the canvas and just kind of painting it in a little bit like that. It's all rough. And let's grab some pink, and we're just gonna put some pink in play here maybe. And we're gonna, this will take layers, so we will do different layers with different colors. And it's good to go from like the outside in, just because it's going towards the center. And let's get some more orange. Put that in here. I just like the orange and the maroon and the pink. I think it looks really good. And a little maroon. And let's put maroon down here. Well, paint over the orange, so we'll go over that again. And let's do the maroon down here. Kind of draw that in there. Okay. That's kind of the basis of the poppy here. And let's see, maybe even have like another piece of the poppy, you know, coming off this way and up through here. And we'll separate that with a darker, maybe blue. I'm gonna fill this in kind of with maroon, so it's kind of on the outside. And let's take the orange. So now what we're gonna do is I'm just kind of trying to pick the little petals. So this one's orange. And let's take a little maroon, and we're gonna go to the one next to it, so it's kind of separated. We'll separate it out there. See how it's kind of all coming together a little bit? And let's take some orange and we'll put it here. And I like the pink there, so we'll leave the pink. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to take a little bit more pink, and we're just gonna kind of put it around in here some places so it's colorful. Kind of a little bit brighter. And what we can do now is I'll take a little bit of dark blue, Now we can separate this one out a little bit, give it a little bit of a shadow down here with the dark blue, just a little bit, and we'll go over that again. And we'll take the orange, and let's get rid of, oops, I gotta rinse my brush out. Okay, now we'll take a little orange, and let's go kind of back over this and brighten it up a little under the blue. So it looks like a little piece sticking down there a little bit. Take some maroon. So you're just trying to get the colors to be a little different, so it shows the different pieces of the flower. And maybe a little blue here. Oops. And I have not washed my brush again, just that one time. We'll put a little blue here. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm gonna let that dry a little bit so I can go over it. We're gonna fill this in with blue on the inside, just with little tiny strokes. So that's the inside of the flower. And I'm using the navy blue. And let's go ahead and we'll use a little maroon. We'll get rid of this guy right here. Cover him a little bit, but not all the way. And see how this is kind of separating the little petals from each other. So you're just going to use the colors to try to separate the petals and make them look a little individual. I'm also going to use a little yellow, so let's brighten this up a little bit. Oh, sorry, you're going to hear my dog bark. Hold on one moment. So let's take some yellow and let's kind of brighten it up here. And let's kind of brighten it up right here, just in little places. Then it'll kind of blend in a little bit and we'll go back over it again. Let's see how we're just kind of brightening it up a little bit. And I'll blend it in a little bit with the maroon here. And a little bit up here. And into the pink. And a little bit more yellow here. So it's just kind of separating the petals out a little bit, giving it a little bit of color and style here. And I'm blending it in, and we will come back to this once this one dries as well and add a little bit more color and make it really pop. So right now I'm just kind of adding the yellow where I want it. Okay. And now I'm going to get the maroon, and let's put one right here. So let's do this, little petals here. It's kind of going over both of the green, which is fine. It's just a circle. Let's bring this one in here. And we're just going to do the same thing, and we're going to give it different petals, and we're going to separate it with the colors. So it kind of looks like this one. And we'll keep going with the maroon. Like this. And let's do a little orange. I have not cleaned my brush. I'm just blending them all in here. Go a little orange on this one. And that's over the top. And this one. And I'm going to grab a little pink just to make it look a little different here. We'll put some pink in here. And then let's get a little yellow. We're going to put a little yellow up here, maybe here, just to kind of highlight it a little bit. And we'll come back to this one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paint this in a little more with maroon because it's really needing some paint there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and dip it in the dark blue, and let's go ahead and we'll add a little center here. Now if I do the center off to one side, when we paint it, finish the center, it'll look like it's opening that way. So put a little blue in here, a little shadow here. I think that's good. And let's put one more, maybe towards the bottom. So let's use a little orange, maybe down here. And I just went orange instead of maroon. You can do maroon, whatever color you want. And let's use a little maroon now. And we'll put this guy in here. I just added a little maroon to the orange. And I'm going to use a dark maroon over here. And we'll kind of bring it out like this. And it's blending with the orange. I have not cleaned my brush just yet. So let's go ahead and let's do a little yellow and let's take it around like this. So what'll happen is once we use the yellow here, this one's gonna go over the other one like that. And I just used the yellow and it kind of blended with the maroon and orange. And I'm just dipping it into the yellow, getting more yellow. And this is kind of over the top here. To kind of bend it, we're gonna bend it in a little bit. And this one, I'm gonna go back over this one with the maroon. So it kind of comes this way. And it kind of bends in a little bit. And we will highlight that to make that look even better. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I did clean my brush, I didn't have to. And we're gonna put this one in sideways as well. Kind of like that. So this side's kind of flat against this part that's coming in. And we'll do some blue here. And that'll work great. See how it's kind of looking like it's growing that way. Now, let's go back to this one. Let's get some yellow. And let's really brighten up some spots with the yellow here. And it's still wet, so you can blend it in or not, however you like it. Just gonna give it a little yellow here. And then maybe this one here. And I'm just painting little lines. Give a little highlight. And I'm going to use a little white, not much. And I'm going to just add a little white to the yellow, maybe this maroon part. And even this part underneath. Oops, maybe a little too much white, but we'll blend that in too. Okay, the little piece that's coming down here. And maybe separate that. I'm gonna go over that blue, I think, with maroon. I think that would look better. Darken it up a little bit here. Yeah. And that's got the white on the brush still, so it looks kind of good. And we'll blend the white in just a little bit. It's that under piece. Okay, maybe take a little white, come out here. Okay, and I'll just kind of blended all that in. And it is, it is abstract, so I just kind of want to give it the idea that it is a poppy. And use a little yellow here, a little more yellow here, and maybe some orange right about here. Kind of blend that in there. See how that gives it a different look altogether? We'll blend that orange in there, and maybe a little there. Alrighty, and then let's go to the next one, and let's add just a touch of white. Just a little white, just to kind of highlight, make it pop out a little more. I mean, they are colorful. At least mine are today. And let's go down here and add a little white here. And let's highlight this little mark right here. Maybe in here. And it is kind of blending in because this one's wet, which that's fine too, because it's kind of different location. We'll separate that out. Okay. Blend that in. And I'm going to use a little yellow because I'm missing yellow in this one. And I'm just using my detail brush and just kind of sliding it right on there. Okay. And this will kind of go over. Let's put this over this guy just a little bit. So it's kind of over that center piece. And maybe a little more yellow. Up in there, and maybe here. Let's put that over the top there with whatever color is on my brush. Blend that in a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to take some, I rinsed my brush out and it's not necessary, but I'm going to get the olive green here and we're just going to make sure that there's some lines in here coming from the flowers. And you don't have to, doesn't matter, they can be hanging out there. It's as abstract as you want to make it. And let's get some lime green. So I'm going to use Vivid Lime Green. It's also Liquitex. And we're going to take the lime green and we're going to make this in the center here. So you'll see some of the blue. I'm just touching it, making it kind of a circle over the blue. And a little red came through, maroon came through, so I'm going to paint it again. And we're going to let this dry and we will paint the green again. So I'm going to put it right here. Inside the blue, so the blue, you can still see the blue. And put a little green. That's a little too much paint, but that's right, we'll give it a little texture. Put that there, and then this one here, kind of sideways. Okay. And now, what I'm going to rinse my brush and dry it off real good. I'm going to just put the tip in to the white, and we're going to add the little pieces that come off the inside there. And this one you can see the whole inside. So I'm going to put the white all the way around. And then on this one, it's only going to the kind of top right. We'll put a few down here, but not many. And then the rest of them will go on the top right. And again, you just have to dip your brush into paint several times because you just want to use the very tip. So it's like those pieces are going out here. And then down here, we'll do them all going this direction to the right. And oops, got way too much paint on that one. Okay. And my dots are all different shapes and sizes and just stuck on there just to give it the centerpiece. Now, I'm going to take a very small detail brush. This detail brush is covered in green paint, but this also was in that package of the detail brushes. It's super tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and take that with the dark blue just on the tip, and let's give it a few little lines kind of coming this way, like it's growing out. And I just put the white dots in to give me like a little idea of where I wanted to put the blue. You don't have to have blue on every dot. You just want to give it the idea that they're there and it's growing out of there. And I'll put it out to a few of them and maybe add a little blue in here. I don't like that. We'll make that green again. So I'm going to take the same brush and we're just going to make that green. Sometimes it looks good with different colors in the middle, but I do like the green. A little more green here. In here. It's got some blue in it, and that's fine. It's kind of a shadow. And then I think I'm going to take maybe my 1-inch brush that I started with, the filbert that I started with in the beginning. I'm going to take some of the light blue, and I'm just going to kind of put a little light blue around here because it just kind of looks a little too dark for me. And maybe some of the green, kind of blend it back in just a little bit. And some dark blue. I'm just kind of playing now because I want to give it the look of, you know, it's just kind of out in the field with some other wildflowers and things are growing. And the sun's in the background. And maybe a little orange. And it's blended with the blue. I did not wash my brush. A little orange, and that kind of makes it look like there's more poppies further out. It gives it a little dimension. And that's it. Cover that blue. You know, sometimes I have an idea and I think bright is good, and sometimes it's just not. That looks okay. And I think that is pretty good. I'm going to cover this a little more with orange. Yep. And maybe some falling petals. And maybe a little bit of the lime green. Oops, I have a dirty brush, so this will be interesting looking. Some little lime green through here. And I think that's about it. You could give it like a little leaf if you wanted to through here. And some abstract leaves in here, like so. And I kind of like it like that. So we're gonna leave it like that. And I'm gonna call that done. And I will, let me change the light a little bit. It's too bright because it's pretty much a dark painting. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and call that done. And I will post a tracer and all the paint colors that I used in the comments below. And I really do appreciate it. And I definitely want to see what yours looks like. Let's let this dry and we'll post a picture of it. It is the final copy from Midweek Masterpiece, the Field of Poppies. I hope you painted along or you paint with the video and try some other ones that are also listed below. I have a lot of freebies. They all have paint colors, paint brushes, tracers. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you paint any of them, please post them on my Patreon site. I really would appreciate it. We really love looking at everybody's paintings. Everyone is just so creative. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you.